I've always found that there is a problem in Magic. And the problem is with the thing you need the most of. It's either you get land flooded or you get land screwed. So to fix this, we're going to decide something else. We're not going to have any lands. Now that means we're going to get land screwed, right? Well, I don't know. This is the idea for this deck. No lands, no problem. The idea of the deck is going to be how I say this. 100% basically making it so I don't have to any lands. That's the whole goal in this deck. And this deck I decided to make, and it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to do with this because I've made a lot of cards. We're probably going to make a few more. So starting off, let's go into the set. I created these cards on MGT Cardsmith, and they're all classified under free cast. The first card we got is probably the first card I made was Lotus of Light. You add 2 mana of any color, and when you tap it, and then your target opponent, can play up to 1 land onto the battlefield tapped. So basically, I can just put lands on the feet. I can just tap it to lands, and it doesn't cost anything. I give my opponent an advantage by saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna add 2 mana. You can put a land down." That's what Lotus Light does, and it's an interesting concept to actually. And a lot of these things in this deck are artifacts, and they are under the Lotus base. Next card we got is Lotus of Darkness. This is a 0 cost. You can pay 2 life to add 2 mana of any color. And the same thing occurs for each of those. The whole object, though, you could pay 1 colorless. But I don't think there's been very many lands that have been colorless in the past and most recent. So basically, you can pay 2 life to add 2 mana of any color. I did that with another card somewhere along the way. I might have it in here, but it's an interesting concept. By the way, this is a double 2 streams tonight. This is going to be stream number 1. Number 2 is going to be Wizard 101. So it's going to be interesting for that. Let's go ahead. Next one is Anger. I actually made a lot of these cards way before. Basically, you add a blue, a white, and a red, and you pay 3 life. And take 3 damage. It doesn't trigger the anything with pay life, but it does make it so that you lose 3 life. And anytime you would take damage, it would help you there, along with adding 3 mana of any color. There's several other cards like this. It is a sorcery, and it's a common. We got Donate Power. This is something I had before. Pay 1. Each player, that means every player, gets 3 mana until the end of the turn. It can only be used to cast colorless spells, though, which this entire deck is based off of, so it's not that big of a deal to deal with that. Artifact Beetle. This is something I had before. I think this is probably one of the most powerful commons I have made. Because you create an egg token that has, you can pay 2 to sacrifice it, add 3 mana. It can't attack, so it's flying. It can block. That doesn't really help much, though. as you're playing against a flying deck. Next card we got is Call the Lotus. This is a search your deck for a Lotus subdeck card and place it into your hand. You lose 1 life. So lose 1 life, and then you get to search your library for a Lotus card and place it into your hand. So this will help. This would be very helpful just to get you into the game if you need to. Like, for example, if you don't have any lands to do it, well, this is the way you do it. This is not necessarily going to be a commander deck, but as of right now, I have it predicted to be a commander deck. Next card we got is Lotus God. This is all colors. When you cast a spell, copy the text of any target creature or artifact text box on Lotus God until end of turn. So you copy the text of whatever the Lotus God is, and it gets a bunch of extra of any artifacts. So you can actually make it so you can add 3 mana. It's pretty ridiculous with just having that, which means Lotus God is a ridiculously powerful creature. It's only 3/2. I think honestly I probably will need to make that more expensive if I wanted to make that commander. Next card we got Story Lotus. Yeah. You can pay 0 to draw a card. I guess you have to have a mana for that. When you draw a card, each player gains 1 life. Everyone gains 1 life. Congratulations, man. And whenever you discard a card, each opponent loses 1 life. So you gain. So it costs 0 to tap it. You can tap it. You can only do that once per turn. You can only discard once per turn. You can draw as many cards as you want. So if you wanted to, you could draw your entire deck out, which is not necessarily the idea of the deck. So just a note, you could potentially, if you wanted to, draw the entire deck out. Reshuffle. I made this deck a long time ago. This card a long time ago. Basically, it's a card that makes it so that you don't lose if you have no cards in your hand or in your deck. You place it in there, you play 3, reshuffle everything into your deck, and then you sacrifice this. So you can only use this once. So that's how that card works. And it is, however, an interesting concept to do this card, because basically, if you're playing against a mill deck, that gives you a little bit more time. Reshuffle your deck and graveyard and all cards you control and exile into your library. So if you pay 5, you get that. Or you could just have your pay 3 and you get all of your cards that's in your deck and your graveyard back into your library. Next card we got is Fire Orb. I will probably have several more of these that would be like this. Fire Orb is that you tap it at either a red or a colorless man-to-man pool. Doesn't seem too difficult, does it? And I had this was in another video at one point, but I have to have something like that in here. Typical artifact spells cost you 1 less. So a lot of these artifacts are going to be free now because of that. This makes cards cost 0 anyway, so it doesn't really matter that much. Next one we got is Wolf Fire Dragon. Potentially could be the commander. Potentially. It is tapped. You could pay 5 or 6 to untap it. And it has Flying, Double Strike, and Vigilance. Guess what, guys? Hey, you can discard a card. Yeah, it's basically 34 damage to your player. Imagine this being your commander. Alright, it's got Double Strike. I'm going to attack you. It can't be blocked, 34 damage to you, you lose. Because a commander, you lose the game if you have less. If you took 21 damage from the commander, that probably won't be the commander for it, but you know it's possible. Dull Bait, I've had another set. It gets +3 plus equipped creature gets +3 plus 3, and it gets blocked. It has equipped for 9. Equipped creature is blocked by 2 more creatures. It gets an additional +2/+2 for each creature blocking it. So they have to be really powerful for that to work out that way. Next card, Legendary Sword. This was my, I think, first set I made. For every warrior on the field, it costs 1 less. I don't know how many warriors there are in Magic. Actually, we can find out. Never mind, we're not gonna worry about that. But this is the Legendary Sword. It costs 0. It takes forever to equip it, but it is very interesting to actually use. Peace. That's another one of those that you can just add 3 mana, take 3 damage. Tame. Do the same thing. Take 3 damage. Oh yeah. This is the one card I think it's going to be absolutely breaking the game. So you can tap it. Here, where goes this? You tap it for a white, you gain 1 life. You untap it for 0. Then you tap it again for blue to draw a card. That's a possibility. Or your second other options are you pay black, maybe black to pay 1 life, or you can do it again to make it green, or you can deal 1 damage to any target by doing red. And you can do this once per turn, the activated ability. It's an interesting card. It doesn't do a whole lot, so it's kind of the weaker legendary, but it is a legendary artifact, so yeah. Lady of Lotus. It cancels all colors. You can create a copy of any card on the field. You can only activate this once per turn. Even though it taps, so it won't matter. You couldn't need to do it anyways. It's 1/6 with haste. Create a token that's a copy of any card on the field. It doesn't sacrifice it, so you just create a copy of any card on the field, which is ridiculous here. It costs 3. It could save you being the commander for your deck, and honestly, that could be what makes you not die. Oh, Spirit Lotus. This looks similar to Black. This is like similar to Black Lotus. Except that it's a 7 cost card, and when you sacrifice it, you gain 3 mana of every color. So you get 3 yellow, you get 3 white, 3 blue, 3 red, 3 green, 3 black. Yeah, so basically that's the card that wins you the game. It is way too powerful. If I were able to go higher than rating, this card would be higher rating than that. Like, I'm just thinking about the context of 5 cost. Cards being like high rating. In the game I've made, there's 2 ratings that are higher than Mythic. There's Legendary. There's only 1 Legendary in every set, and then there's Special, which only occurs every couple of sets. This probably would be at least the Legendary. Oh, here's the fun commander. It's a the Lotus. Can't be targeted by spells or abilities. The Lotus is all colors. Oh, yeah. 1/3. You can pay 0 to add 1 mana of any color. You can pay 2, pay 1 to add 2 mana of any color. Activate only once per turn. Or you can pay 2 to activate to add 3 mana of any color. Yikes. Yeah, so basically, let's just put it this way. If you pay 0, then you can pay for the 1, which means you get 2. So you have 2. You can pay this 2 to add 3. Make it 3 of only one color. Oh, I made a mistake. I didn't want that color, so I'll make it 2 mana of any color instead. It's not really that great, but it does have the effect that it can't be targeted by spells or abilities. It's not Shroud. It's more like Shroud Hexproof. Hexproof, so it's a ridiculously good creature. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Oh yeah. So I got 5 of these things. These are all colored. They all have, I think, the same cost. They might have a little bit different cost, but the first one is Ice Lotus. It has Mystical Color, which is an effect that says if you're playing Commander, it gains the color of that commander, so you can play it. If you're playing a format where, so it becomes to match that color, whether or not it actually is that color or not. You can pay 1. You can pay 1 in up to 2 life or 1 blue mana to tap a creature, place a stun counter on that creature, or you can just tap it to add that blue to your mana pool. Lotus Wolf. That was the card range. Mystical Colors again. Pay 2 to gain 3 life. Oh, we're going to just make it food until end of turn. That's what it is. Or you can tap it to add green. It's a mythic. Believe it or not, it's a mythic. Why is it? I don't know. This one's one weird. I don't know if why I made that one a mythic. Did I make this a mythic? No, I didn't make this mythic. The 2/2. You can tap 2 to get 3 life. I don't know why I made that one mythic. That one probably should be a rare. It's not easy to play. It's an artifact creature. The other one's not an artifact creature, though. I know it's an artifact creature. I don't know. Do you think that guy should be a mythic rare? Let me know in the comments down below. Because I think that might be a little bit weird. Oh, I know why. Because one of the main cards in this deck are wolves. That might be why it's mythic. Lotus Fox. Lotus Fox, guys. Yep. Lotus Fox, guys, is the name of the card. It's Lotus Fox. 2 and 1 red, or red Praxian mana. You can pay 4 to deal 3 damage to any target, could be the player. Or you can tap it, and it has haste, so you can tap it immediately to add 1 red mana. 3/1, not really that great. It's a mythic, though. I can see why this one's mythic, because of the context of you pay 2 life and 3 mana, which is what you already have, most likely anyways, to deal 3 damage to target, which can win you the game. So yeah, that does make sense somewhat. Darkloaf. It's also a mythic. Yeah, it has, you can pay 2 to lose 1. Why is this a mythic? Yeah, black. So, it costs 1 less, and you can pay to add 1, but you can pay 3 life. You can pay 2 to lose 1. Why does it make a difference? I think there's a card we're going to make with this one that's going to make that actually ridiculously good. Oh, then we have Elf Lotus. 1 and 1 Phyrexian mana. Yeah, now I know why this one's mythic. It's a human Lotus, mystical colors. You can add it, or you can pay 5 to gain 20 life. That's reasonable, right? I mean, it's not very high power. Yeah, I think that one's more reasonable. Maybe make this a little more expensive. I don't know for sure. Rainbow Lotus, okay. Okay. This card is so ridiculous. Pay one mana and 1 of every color. Then, when it becomes untapped, for 1 additional mana, you can just sacrifice it to win the game. Seems a little bit overpowered, but it's not really. I mean, it's cost. I don't know what the card's costing. Cost for that, but is that? It's a little bit overpowered here. Hey, I'm gonna pay 6 mana. I'm gonna pay 7 mana now to untap it and then tap it to win the game. It would take a while to get out. That's the only thing that makes sense of why it's more difficult. It does have Shroud and Indestructible, so it might be difficult to even destroy. Yeah. Then we got the Lowest Master. +1 to add 3 mana of any 1 color. -2. Search your deck for a Lowest card. Yeah, a lot of this deck is Lotus. So, and it can be your commander. It does cost 1 of every mana. So, I mean, might be a little difficult to get out, but it's powerful. So, that might be a ridiculously good commander at some point. Amulet Wolfie. Wolfie. Equipped creature gets first strike and gets +1/+1. If it's a wolf or warrior, it gets +2/+2. You can equip a wolf or werewolf for 0, or you equip something else for 2. Yeah. And I think the way I would read this is that equipped creature gets gets first strike and gets +1/+1 if it's a wolf or werewolf, which means it would get first strike and +2/+2, not +1/+1, and then add +2/+2 to that. It's a common for 2. Might need to make that a little bit more powerful. Glowing Wolf, 1 cost, 2/2. Doesn't seem too powerful. Wave of Light, oh god. It's a rare 0-cost creature that can't be blocked. It's equal to the number of 0-cost mana cards on the field. And guess what this entire deck's based off of? 0 cost. So, it is at least a 1/1 when it enters the field. So you get a 0/0 for 1. You get a 1/1 for 0. And the more zeros things you have out, congratulations, you win. Because it can't be blocked, so it's ridiculously good. Might even have to make that one a mythic at some point because of how ridiculous that is. There was another card that I had was Lady, but the difference was its power and toughness were equal to the number of cards in your hand, and that was a little more. That was way too powerful. Ah, here we go. So we got a few of these, I think. So you can pay a blue Phyrexian, a red Phyrexian, and a green Phyrexian to make an alliance. And then everything, all your wolves are pretty much free because most wolves in this deck are free. Costing. Oh yeah, and other creatures you control are light in addition to other types. Light doesn't mean anything on this deck, I don't think. Oh yeah, pack of wolves. Here's why this becomes ridiculous. Alright, I will play 20 pack of wolves after playing this guy because my wolves are free. My wolves are free now. And if you have 2 or more, they also have vigilance. So congratulations, you basically have a bunch of 2 or 3 creatures that have vigilance that cost nothing. This deck is getting more ridiculous. Next we got Blessing of the Moon, cost 0. Yeah, so the way this card works, you play it for 0 mana. Both players gain 2 life. All players gain 2 life. And then you can have as many you want in the deck. Same thing with the other card, the last card, by the way. If it's a creature, if it's a werewolf or werewolf, nothing happens. If it isn't a werewolf or a wolf, then you can just play it, and if a creature has 1 toughness, it dies. Yeah, so it's just not great for that. Bleeding out, okay. Bleeding out just basically says, destroy a target creature that took damage this turn. Not much to go off that. Wolf Orb, 0 cost, add 1 mana of any color. Okay, so you can always pin us on wolves, foxes, and werewolves. And then you can also tap it to add 1 mana of any color, which is colorless. 1 mana. Next card, Wolf's Final Attack. I love cards. I've made a card like this. It's just lovely. Deals X damage to a creature. When a wolf, no, it's a legendary enchantment. When a wolf or fox deals a damage to a creature, destroy that creature. When a wolf or fox deals damage to a player, you create a wolf orb token tapped on the field. That's what this is. Yeah. So yeah, it's ridiculous. Mythic might be an understatement. Seven Foxes of Freedom is a card. Same, it costs 1. When green Praxian Man, blue Praxian Man, yellow Praxian Man, and the legend rules do not apply to creatures you control. Oh, yeah. So I can have as many of my legend creatures I want. So that works, right? And foxes and wolves have Shroud and Haste. God. Yeah. Then you can create a fort. You can tap 3 to either create a blue Fox of Vigilance or for 2 green Fox of Vigilance. I think this is going to be ridiculous. Basically, I could play that for 6 life and 1 mana. Could be ridiculous off that. Emperor Civil War. I think I did put this one in a previous set. Create a 1/1 wolf with indestructible. It's trample and indestructible. It's a 5/6 for 4. Wolves have +3/+3 in trample. Yeah, yikes. Oh, green wolf. And you have a blue wolf, blue fox actually. Next card, okay. So this one's a commander you can play on turn 1. For 10 life instead of its mana. Pay either 1 of every color or pay one of every color, or pay 10 life. And if you have lands up there, or if you can just tap it to add 2 mana of any color, which allows you to play a lot of other things in this deck. And guess what? Foxes have 1 and 2 mana of any color. That's nice, right? And it's flying, and it's vigilance and lifelink to add on to that. Master of Wolves. Please tell me I didn't make this. Master of Wolves. Wolves cost 0 instead of their mana cost. When you cast a Wolf Fox, it create a 2/1 Snow Wolf. Oh, come on. Could be ridiculous. So 3 or 2 per X in mana. Oh yeah, I made a few of these more. Daffy Lewis. It doesn't untap during your tap step. So you can pay 2, pay 1 life. So basically, you could technically go infinite with this if you wanted to. Except it's pay 1 life. So you could just go, I'll play my Daffy Lewis in the fields. I will tap it. I'll pay 1 life to tap again, to untap it, and just continue doing that. Until I run out of life. You could kill yourself with this card. And guess what? It's not the only one like this. Lotus Quandary has the exact same qualities. River Walls has got the same qualities. Glow Roses, Fire Lotus, all hollows have exactly the same qualities. And then we got the last, no, that's the last card, which is Ray the Lotus. You can pay X life. You pay X mana, pay X life, draw X cards. And you recast it for paying 1 life by paying 1 life. And I guess in the case it would just it would trigger in a way like this. You pay 1 life, recast it. It gets you 1 life. You would lose 1 life, and you would gain 1, draw 1 card every time you cast it. And I think it's the final card. Final Lotus that I have in this one. Final Lotus. You can sacrifice a Lotus, return target card from a graveyard. No, from your graveyard. And place it onto the field. Tapped. No, and you can place on the field for paying 2 more. That is really all there is to this, though. What do you guys think of this deck? Give me in the comments down below. And that's the end of this video. Before I get to... So I'm going to do another stream at 10 o'clock. Which is going to be Wizard 101. But I want to let you guys know, at about midnight tonight, that's what I'm going to guess, there will be 2 videos that will drop on my channel. The videos are the 2 NBL videos for this year. If you want to take control of the team, they will give you all the information you need to know about it. It'll also tell you about the NBL itself. That is what's going to be on it. I know this wasn't a very long stream compared to what I normally do, but I wanted to get this one in here. And I will say this. Next week, you can't go to see this. You can see these are all available right now. But next week, if I'm correct, next Saturday, I will be taking the day. I will probably be taking the day off. So I will be skipping a week. So next Saturday, there won't be a stream. However, there will be a stream every week after that until the NBL draft. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any ideas, other cards that might go ridiculous with this, deck, let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you next video. Don't forget to keep your game on, and Wizard 101 will be up at, I'm going to check to make sure I know which one it's going to be. $10:30. So I think I'm going to do it at 10. I'll see you guys in a little bit. See you guys at that video. Stream. I do stream most weeks Saturdays at 10 o'clock. I started a little bit early for this one because I could do it, and then every week it's gonna be 10 to about 10 to 11. It'll be probably different videos each week. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to keep your game on, and I'll see you in the next video.